Alright, in this section we're going to be talking about identifying the cable type that you're going to run into in the field. Now, what's in a piece of cable? First thing we'll talk about is the center conductor. We use a copper-clad steel, copper cladding on the outside of the steel, because the center conductor gets the signal from point A to point B. The next layer would be your dielectric. We use a foam dielectric in our drop cables. The next layer would be a layer of foil, and on top of that is a braid. Both of those are there to give you your shielding capabilities for ingress and egress. On top of that will be your outer jacket. A piece of 60% standard cable, if you look at the diagram right here, will show you the center conductor, dielectric, the foil, the braid, and the outer jacket. The next cable size we'll talk about is 60% tri-shield. What that does is it's a 60% standard, but what they've done is added a second layer of foil on between the outer jacket and the braid. It just gives it a little more capability of handling ingress and egress. The next type of cable would be a 77% tri-shield. Like the 60% tri-shield, it is designed the same way, as you can see by this, but what it has done is it has better isolation capabilities for ingress and egress by putting more turns of braid in it. The newest innovation in cable is what at Times Fiber we call quick prep. And what that is a 77% tri-shield, but what we have done is bonded the outer foil to the outer jacket. It makes preparation much easier. When you prep the cable, the outer foil comes off with the outer jacket, so you do not have to fold that out of the way when you go to connectorize the cable. And the final cable that you would run into, and it was an industry standard for many years, is quad. And what that is, if you look at this picture, is the center conductor, a dielectric, a layer of foil, a layer of braid, a layer of foil, a layer of braid, and your outer jacket. While it had very good ingress and egress properties, it was very difficult for technicians to work with and probably caused most of the problems with connectorization over the years. Next, we should talk about jacket types. On your standard drop cable, you have a PVC jacket. Very pliable, very easy to use. That is what most technicians are used to using. When you come to working with underground cable or RG11 messenger cable, which needs to be a little stronger, you have what they call a PE jacket, which is a polyethylene. A little stiffer to deal with. Most technicians find it harder to work with. It just takes time and preparation to do it correctly. Other cable types you'll run into is a plenum cable. Depending on the building codes in the town you live in, plenum cable is very often required in commercial businesses. A plenum, if you look at a building code, is either the airspace above a drop ceiling or an raised floor that carries ventilation. And what they require is a plenum cable. You can usually identify it because it's a fairly clear jacket. And what it does, it will not ignite, it's self-extinguishing if there is a fire, and it's a very low smoke. And that's why it is used when you work in a ventilation area. The next type of cable jacket you'll run into very often is what they call riser rated. And what riser rated means, it's a dark jacket, and it is used in cable chases, elevator shafts, things like that in commercial buildings where it's not in a ventilation type system, and it is a low smoke, self-extinguishing cable. Thank you.